Hey Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
Uh, Good.
Good.
I guess if you can call it good. We
Well,
all are it's interesting how we greet each other now, and we're like scared to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening, because it's not certainly good. So everybody, but it's automatic, right? When you talk to someone, you say good morning, but then you're like, oh, or maybe it's not good morning. So we now say like morning, or that's it, or just say hello. It's weird times.
the views and opinions expressed by guests on the TWBC podcast are solely those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of, nor constitute an endorsement by the host, TWBC, or the advertisers. Well, greetings one and all, and welcome to this latest edition of the TWBC podcast. My name is Tony Lightfoot. In the last few weeks, I'm sure you've seen the headlines posted across the world about the conflict that's been going on between Russia and Ukraine. And one of our good friends, the bronze medalist in the World Overall Championship from this past year, Danylo Filchenko, is right in the middle of it in his native city of Dnipro. Most of you will probably already know that we'd already done a podcast with him several weeks ago, and this is another one by way of an update to check in on him and see what the situation is like on the ground there in the middle of Ukraine. So with that, we'll continue on with the conversation with Danylo Filchenko from Dnipro in Ukraine. It's been going on for over a month now, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think it's what is it? The 26th. They count days now. Like they say, 25th or 26th day of war. I believe it's. Let me double check. It's. I mean, we all know when it started on 24th of February, but I'm scared to say, but I think it's 26th day of war.
Wow.
Yeah, almost a month.
Almost a month now, So it's just...
I think 27th, actually. 27th, yeah.
Almost frightening to consider or even contemplate at this stage. So, I mean, time has passed since we last spoke. What has the situation been like? Has it... I'm guessing it hasn't really gotten any better in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's really on a daily basis how things are. Our moods and how we think it's going changes really daily, and we base it on the news that we hear, right, and the people that we talk to throughout the day. Some people are very optimistic, some people are very pessimistic, some people are very realistic. So we don't know for sure, right? And we only judge by what we hear, or what we hear in the news, or what we hear outside in the air. It's been I can tell you that the sirens are been going off quite often recently in the Dnipro area, and after the time that we spoke, we had a few missile strikes on Dnipro. Nothing major, and I don't even want to complain about our situation in Dnipro at all, comparing to other cities like Mariupol, Kharkiv, Berdansk, Sumy, Chernigiv, cities under Kiev, and all those places like that. It's very tragic, horrific, and what's going on there, it's just unimaginable even for us, and the things that people going through there is just insane. And I was able to chat with one guy in the special forces. He's actually like in the intelligence. He's one of the guys who kind of volunteered to go. He wasn't in the military before. He just joined, and they sent him I can't say the exact location, but they sent him towards Kharkiv, and things are really bad there. And he was a front line, and he told me many horrific stuff that I can't say, and I don't want to. But it's really bad. The situation is really bad. A lot of people are dying, and civilians and kids, and cities like Mariupol is fully occupied by the Russian army, and they're not letting humanitarian buses come in, which means the people there have literally whatever they had left in their houses, in things like food and water. Whenever they ran out, and I just listened to an interview and saw, the bunch of people that are hiding in the shelter. They said they literally have food left for 1 week, and that's it. And they don't know what to do and what's next. Russians are not letting we are sending the buses full of humanitarian support, and there was an agreement between Russia and Ukraine side for those corridors to be open for the buses to come in, but they didn't let them come in. They literally stop them, and they steal this stuff for themselves, the Russians, and they don't give it to the people. And people are literally dying there from lack of food and water, and it's just horrible. And they're bombing the city nonstop, But but our army that's there, it's one of the strongest battalions, like the groups that are there are really fighting back very, very bravely, and they're able to, they tell us that they're able to hold the positions, but the humanitarian catastrophe is still there, and it's horrible what's happening there. So why I was saying that is because in Dnipro, it's far from it. And I mean, not in terms of mileage, because we're only 148, something like 150 miles to Mariupol. Like we're northwest from Mariupol, and it's not that far logistically, but it's far from the situation that they're having and the situation we are having here in Dnipro. So.
Wow, I mean,
yeah, it's horrible, and whatever you see, like on the news, those horrible videos of the little kids, the newborns that are not surviving, and it just, man, I don't know if how to explain this, or like why in 2020 we're still experiencing things like that, a war. It's, I don't know how to explain.
I mean, there was no reason for it to go ahead. I mean, it was just all on the head of like one or two people, right, not higher up in Russia. Okay,
yeah.
But
yeah.
Give us a sense of what you're actually doing right now, because I mean, you received donations from a lot of people when we spoke about 3 weeks ago. You made the appeal for donations. You gave a PayPal link, and now there's another spot that people can donate to. So how has that helped going forward in terms of what you're doing?
I mean, first of all, I want to thank endlessly people that have donated, and I want to thank you, Tony, and the Waterski Broadcasting Company for publishing our podcast and sharing the link. That brought a lot of people to donate, and a lot of people donated because of that podcast, so I'm really thankful for that. We were able to do much more, and even like you saw, maybe we were able to buy a car for a special group of armed forces of Ukraine, and we were able to buy like drugs which are not cheap, and we're just able to buy more expensive things like I said. So it's really helping much, and I'm tremendously thankful for it, and the whole Ukrainian people are thankful for
And
all
this is
these
all
donations.
and this is all humanitarian aid, right?
No, I mean this is. I mean, if you can, I guess you can call it all humanitarian aid. I mean, it's not all. I don't know if car is humanity. You can call it humanitarian aid, but it's for the needs of um, armed forces of Ukraine. So I'm not only helping refugees and people like that. We're also directly talking to armed forces of Ukraine in our area and the east of Dnipro, because Dnipro became this kind of city that still is working. A lot of people are working because it's safe and quiet here, and we're not very far from cities like Mariupol, so we're able to coordinate and collect all these humanitarian things, and not only also like bulletproof vests and helmets if we can find or buy, or now people are even in Ukraine started producing them, making them, those bulletproof vests. So we became this kind of city that kind of supplies the helps the eastern part of Ukraine. So yeah, I mean, like I said, thank you very much, but also it's not over yet, and I want to ask people to, if they can, and I know maybe it's a lot to ask, but we're running out of money, and we have right now there's no income on our side. We're spending a lot and trying to help. So if somebody has, if they can help by donating or by sharing this with your friends and family or whoever who can help, please do, because we are still in so much. I know it's seems like the people done their part and helped, but it's still going on, and we don't know when it's going to end. We really hope and we pray every single day that it ends, and we hope that we wake up next morning and it's over. But we just, from what I hear, I don't think it's going to stop that quickly, and it doesn't seem like the Russian side is stopping. But because of the world's involvement in this, the whole world is involved in helping us. We are able to hold strong and hold our positions strongly. So
I want to ask you about that a little bit, because obviously in the last 3 weeks, President Zelensky has been on remote calls and Zoom calls and transmissions to the British Parliament, the United States Congress, and a whole bunch of other entities, pleading for them for help and assistance, and
I can tell you for sure.
They're getting some help and assistance, but really what they needed is more direct, military assistance from countries such as those within NATO. How do you feel about the response from outside of Ukraine so far in that vein?
I mean, I can understand their situation as far as NATO not being able to close the sky. I mean, of course they're scared and to get involved, directly in this war, because you will quickly turn into World War III. And I don't think, I really want to, right? I really want them to get directly involved and help us out, but I don't think it's going to help us. I think it's going to make it even worse, as far as it's going to turn into nuclear war.
And that is a horrible thing to contemplate. Because
yes, and Putin already said. he said that if Europe is going to get involved, or NATO is going to get involved, as soon as he hears something like this, he said that it's already it's in place, and he got it ready to press the button. And trust me, that will.
Wow. And
because I mean, all the, it's, I mean, I won't believe that he won't, because he's ready to go till the end. As soon as he's gonna feel that they're losing, if NATO will get involved, in 1 week, Russia is done. They won't be able to do anything against NATO. So as soon as he's gonna feel that they're losing, he's gonna press a button.
And I mean,
and that's it.
And I mean,
nobody wants that.
And I mean, the stuff he's already done, like bombing children's hospitals and going after those types of facilities, are already breaches of international law.
Why they're doing that is because obviously it's not that easy as people think to get into the city or into the cities, or to attack with tanks and stuff like that. It's not that easy, and they're not able to do it. So what they have left is, and what they've done in Syria, but I mean, they haven't done that in Ukraine, thank God. But if they do, I mean, it's over. If they start, they've done in Syria, there was one city that they bombed, like every meter of that city was bombed.
That was Aleppo.
Yeah, there were and it was just gone. The whole city was gone, and there is no defense against that. There is no, I mean, there's no surviving after all of that.
I mean, he's going to be charged with war crimes, isn't that right? I mean, I mean, there's no really way out for him that would prevent.
What they're trying to do now, it's just, they pick and choose and what they're gonna bomb and what they strike, but it's just 1 or 2 or 3, and but I mean, there are some cities and villages that are completely gone. So I mean, it's just, I mean, we can get into this discussion. It's for a long time. I didn't think that should be the main topics that we should be talking about here with you, Tony, because I mean, it's politics, and it's all on the news, and it's also just my opinion on all of this. So, I mean, I just really hope somehow it ends. And I mean, you asked me how I feel about other countries helping. They do help a lot, and we see that help. I personally see that help. For example, humanitarian help. There are trains that arrived in Dnipro from Czech Republic and from Italy. Me personally, I saw, and Germany. I saw those personally. Those humanitarian help from Italy that arrived, and there were boxes full of very needed stuff that came from people. The people packed those boxes, and I've opened a few of them because we are, as a volunteering group, we have a big warehouse where we store all of that, sort through it, and then give out and whatever. We do many things. So I was just saying that I was able to open a few boxes of those, and I saw a bunch of drawings made by Italian kids for the law, and they were sending love to Ukraine, and it's just it melted my heart. And I mean, it shouldn't be like this, but to see the world's support really gives us strength to fight back, and really makes us feel that we're not alone in this, and because we are fighting for freedom of our country, but also fighting for freedom of European country, for freedom of the whole European Union. So, like I said, I do personally see that help, and I really hope that it doesn't stop there, because because there are still a lot of people in need, and the war is going and going, and it's not stopping, and it's not really getting any better. So all the people that are here, I'm sure some of you have sent that help, and I just want to thank you, and I just want to let you know that it's getting here, and it's really, so please, if you're able to continue supporting, please do.
All right, let's talk to you a little bit on a more personal level now, because around about this time of year, I mean, if it was a typical year, you'd be skiing, you'd be training, you'd be getting ready to possibly compete in like the Masters or something like that, or other tournaments, So I mean, where you are right now, and where you should be right now, kind of give us a sense of how that's kind of manifesting itself psychologically right now.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to think, or I haven't really thought about this much, because all you think about is just, you want to wake up next morning alive, and you want all of your family to wake up alive. And I haven't been able to really think about the tournament or practice or anything like that much, but obviously I do miss those times, and I do miss skiing and training and just living a regular life. So I know a lot of athletes are not water skiers, but other athletes in Ukraine that are able, they continue to train, and some of them even travel to tournaments. I don't know personally if I will be able to do it with this situation given. I really do feel like my involvement in this is helping many people, and I want to continue that until until the war is over, and then I will get back into skiing mode. I really hope. And I mean, right now it's cold, so I'm definitely not able to ski, and I just don't even know how if we will be skiing or not. Just because of the amount, just a lot of people have left Ukraine. But Yuri's here, but he's fully involved in helping out and volunteering as well. And so I just don't know, Tony, how to really answer. I don't have any plans. I don't know. And this is really the situation where no one knows here in Dnipro what's going to happen tomorrow, and we definitely cannot plan on anything right now, because I mean it's a martial law, and nobody can leave this country. Like, men can't leave the country 18 through 60 years old, and I don't want to leave. I want to stay here and help. I mean, I really pray and hope that it stays like that here in Dnipro. But if it gets anything closer, if it's, I mean, like in Mariupol, it's impossible. It's not living at all.
It's just surviving.
It's surviving. Yeah, and so I really pray that it doesn't happen here. So, I mean, that's all we're thinking about is just every time we speak, we're like, oh, it's quiet here. And then everyone says, pray to God that it stays like that. So, because we're not that far away, and they've showed with their missiles, they can touch us from anywhere. They can really, like they hit Dnipro, they hit Lviv, which is the west of Ukraine. Nothing's happening there.
Yeah.
But hit that from from the south of Ukraine where they have their warships. They were able to. They have missiles that can strike from like 2,000 miles away. They can hit us in anywhere in Ukraine. So yeah, we just hope somehow it doesn't get here, because even though our army is doing good and we're fighting back strong and all of that, and with you know with the support of US by giving us the air defense systems like C-300, C-400, javelins against the tanks and things like that. I mean that helps a lot, and because our air isn't as strong as Russia's, and that's where we are actually losing. Is by air. On the ground, we're holding strong, and not gonna let them, whatever they have in the positions that they have, the south of Ukraine and under Kiev and northern part, a few cities, they haven't been able to move much. But because of air, they're destroying our cities, they're destroying our infrastructure. So whatever we've built, that's what's there to protect if our cities are fully destroyed. You know what I mean?
I got you.
What are we protecting on the ground? If the cities are going to be bombed by air and we have no cities, what's there to protect? I mean, our main goals and what we should be thinking and what we should be doing is protecting our cities, right? I mean, obviously, our people, it's number one, 100%. But infrastructure, of course. I mean, if there's nothing on the ground, I mean, no one's going to survive. So, I mean, we need defense, or we need to give them a strong answer in the air, and that's why everyone is talking about NATO close the sky, because this wouldn't be much for them, realistically, but obviously it could turn into World War III. But I mean, in my head, but maybe it's very naive, and but I don't understand how if we had just like a strong group of armed forces from NATO on the ground, like controlling the air defense systems, and or some of the best, like, I don't know, or a few planes. Like, I mean, if we got a few F-16s or F-35s, I mean, I know they're crazy expensive, but those could really turn the war into a different direction.
I mean, because
I'm very naive, but if they would help that, maybe don't announce it officially. U.S. is given to Ukraine F-35s or something like that. Just give it to us, or like, I don't know, somehow just I'm sure. I'm sure it's very naive, and maybe it's happening. I really hope that it's happening, that they give us things on the table.
Because there was some talk a little bit earlier on that the air forces from Poland and those that are in the Baltic states could send their planes, and then NATO by extension could backstop the Polish and the Balkan states with American planes, because Ukrainian pilots know how to pilot the Russian-made planes more than they do with the Western planes, right?
Yeah. All right. So we just hope and pray here.
Yeah. And we're certainly there with you. We're certainly we're giving you all of our support, and trying to ensure that of a positive outcome there for yourself and your folks and your friends and that kind of stuff. So before we round off this podcast, is there any last things you'd want to say to those who have supported you, or those outside Ukraine, that type of thing? I don't want to call
call out anyone specifically because I'm sure I would forget someone. So I just want to say to every single person that have sent me a message, sent money, sent, or shared on social media, words of support, or not messaged me, but messaged someone from Ukraine, and have sent some humanitarian support from your country. I just want to, give you a big hug, not just thank you, but a big hug, and my heart, melts when I read those supportive messages, and it really, messages like that and support just gives us all this, strength and extra push, because it's just really hard and it's getting really exhausting, the whole situation and current lifestyle that we're all having. We're really getting tired because you're not sleeping properly. There's no weekends, so we're working all the time, and just physically and mentally really hard. So all of your support matters, and it really helps when we read those messages. When we get the financial help, we're able to help many people. It's just big hug to you all, and big thank you. I don't know if I could thank you enough for what you all are doing for us.
All right, then. That was Danylo Filchenko. And this has been the latest edition of the TWBC podcast. And so until next time, it is going to be ciao for now.
Thank you for listening to the TWBC podcast. Be sure to check out our website at waterskibroadcasting.com. Links to our presence on major social media platforms can be found there, as well as updates to our webcast and this podcast. Duplication or rebroadcasting of this broadcast without written consent of TWBC is prohibited. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform and be sure to join us next time for the next edition of the TWBC podcast.